Hi, and welcome back to my playthrough of Peter Pan and Disney's Return to Neverland. That's not a confusing title. Yeah, so last time, well, same old. Hook is trying to trick Peter so he can get a treasure. There was some racism. Yeah, normal day in Neverland. Yeah, oh, man. To meet the swinging part, try not to touch him. The swords protect him. Okay. I probably will stop getting lucky at finding these secret things because I'm bad at that. Yeah. Oh, right. Right, this jerk. Yeah, I never really take that guy out. He's just too annoying. Honestly, some of the secret areas are not that hard to find. Like, as long as you at least have some proper idea of level design. And just check walls constantly. Does mean you'll get a lot of Peter going into walls. Some of these enemies are a little bit simplistic. They get really hard later, though, I will say that. Wasn't I? Oh, right, I was actually going to talk more about what I was saying yesterday, like last time. As soon as I figure out where I'm going. Because I did not actually see a locked door. Oh, if I end up having to jump cut only after recording this for a bit. Oh, it was right there. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I was gonna say that, like... Yeah, I'll be honest. Peter Pan and Wendy is my personal favorite adaptation of Peter Pan. Yeah, it's invisible. Weird. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it like that because I love the 2003 version. Like, I saw it in theaters, but I don't know. There's a lot of good elements about it. I really do like it. It's just, you know... Like, as I said previously, I consider it to be the most accurate adaptation of the source material we've ever gotten. Is it my favorite? No. In fact, before Peter Pan and Wendy came out, my favorite version of the story was Hook. Because, like... Oh, cool, treasure map.
Oh no, Tinkerbell. It's only a piece of the map. We have to find the rest of it. What's going on? Let's go and see.
Yeah, let's see. Because, like, there's a lot to love about Hook. Robin Williams is amazing in it. Dustin Hoffman is, like, just perfection. I quote him endlessly. Oh. Okay, case in point that I've watched the Disney film way too much. It's Starkey, you know, everyone's favorite from that bit. No, Splash, Captain. So, you want a splash, Mr. Starkey. I'll give you a splash.
I know Peter was here, but where is he now?
Looking for me, Crook?
Peter Pan, at last I found you. Time for a taste of me knives.
Ah, you think so?
Oh my god. Yeah, I have too many aspects of that film memorized. Try to strike Starkey when they stop.
You got lucky, shrimp.
You gonna stop flailing? Sorry, I'm trying to focus on the boss fight.
You think you can beat me?
I made short work of him, especially when he started to throw his knives like this. You're right, Tink. With this skill, I'll be able to hit from a distance.
Have you found the map, Peter?
Unfortunately, it was only a piece of the map. We really need to find the rest of it.
Maybe one of the Lost Boys found something. You should go ask them.
Good idea. Now that I can throw my knife, going through the forest should be easier.
"98, 99, 100. Here it is. So if I remember, we have to take 200 steps to the east.
you all right, Captain? Are you hurt?
Yes, I'm fine.
Excuse me, Captain. Did you say 200 steps to the east or to the west?
The West?
All right, Captain. Let's go.
Uh, every scene with Captain Hook, no matter what the version, is the best parts of anything. But yeah, God, there's just so much love about Hook. The set design is amazing. Like, oh, that is still my favorite Jolly Roger. Uh, John Williams, like that is my personal favorite John Williams score. Like, I love his Star Wars stuff. I love his Harry Potter ones. Like, but for crying out loud, I bought the limited edition soundtrack of Hook. Hit it. Okay, now I need to find a way that opened. And yeah, there's just this. Okay, sorry, I have to constantly like make sure I stop talking at the end of a level just because I'm constantly worried that a cutscene's gonna start and I'm gonna talk over it. Because I'm really trying not to do that. Where we're heading back to hang out? Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so much great stuff about the movie. Like, uh, I love it so much that when I got the full soundtrack to Hook, like the full like limited edition soundtrack of like all the songs, when looking for Lost Boys Project for the Explosive Barrels. Okay. Like, I actually found out something that I don't know if anyone's ever found out before about how like John Williams had recorded a bunch of music for that movie that just got cut, and you can like sync it up very perfectly, like Hook's introduction, like in the final film. Like in the final film, there's like music at the beginning of the scene and then at the end of the scene. And they just cut out an entire like section of score like in between that's like beautiful. And I honestly would love to see like all the deleted scenes that were going to be in the film, like, oh my god, like, oh, come on. Like, give me my free hours director's cut of Hook. But yeah. And for the longest time, that was my favorite version of Peter Pan because, yeah. And then Peter Pan and Wendy came out, and I was like so hyped that I remember waiting, like viewing like that was like the first time in a very long time I've ever cared about like early set leaks, like the second, like oh man, here's how the Jolly Roger's gonna look. It kind of actually looks like how it does in the original animated film to some extent. With like some new additions. Oh, like, oh, here's what Jude Law looks like as Captain Hook. And oh, health boost. And Man, like the second it went, like the day it went live on Disney Plus, I watched it like immediately. It was like 8 a.m. and I was tired, but I did it anyway. And there's a lot of stuff I love about Peter Pan and Wendy. For one, you know, I do love the fact that like it doesn't waste any time getting to Neverland. I mean, you know, as much as I love the 2003 film, I kind of don't care how long it takes to get out of the Darling home. You know, it's all good stuff, but like, man, I just want to get to Neverland. Which in a lot of ways, Peter Pan and Wendy going that fast kind of is a throwback to the original film, where, yeah, and God, there's just so much of that, like, oh dang it, end of level. And like that is like the director, the writer, like clearly the people behind that film are actually really big Peter Pan fans. And like and like I can tell that just because of like all the cute little references they throw in, or the fact that like oh god, this is so hard to talk about, but like okay, fine, the switches. Jude Law might be my personal favorite Captain Hook, just because of like I talked about before, about as a, you know, particularly with the Disney film as a kid, Captain Hook was my favorite thing about it. And you know, like the way they, I've heard people like describe the Disney version of Hook and how he's presented is like, oh, it's like a more, because of how the adaptation works, is a bit more sympathetic seeming, even though he's not really sympathetic. I mean, of course, he's, you know, he tries to he tries to murder the Lost Boys, Wendy and her brothers. But because of like in the original film, Peter Pan is such an unlikable little prick. Yeah, sorry about that. I have so many recurring technical difficulties that sometimes you may have noticed that I will sometimes just drop in the middle of what I'm talking about. But yeah, like Peter is such, especially in the original Disney film, is an annoying little jerk. Like, I will flat out say he is unlikable. He lacks any of, like, I don't know. He is a perfect, like, boiling down representation of the character that Jay and Barry wrote. But he's just so unlikable. Hell, I remember, like... God, I still remember, like, some stuff like, what was it? Fucking Kingdom Hearts 1, where it kind of implies Hook just... Like... Oh, God, that bit where he thinks he hears the crocodile, but no one else does, and it's just, like, gotten him so much that he's just... a horrible mess, like... Man. Are you gonna come back around? And so, you know, like with Peter Pan and Wendy, I love the fact that they actually gave Peter a little bit more development. They gave Peter a little bit more of a thing. You know, I don't know how to put it, like, making, like, you know, spoilers for Peter Pan and Wendy, but making Hook one of the one of the original Lost Boys. You know what? I'll go to Hang Mystery first, and then I'll go to
Go on, Tink. Try to clear the way so we can get by. I know you can do it.
and then I'll go to the Horribly Offensive shop. Like making Hook one of the original Lost Boys is so genius, especially because of how it ties into like some of the more dark and messed up nature of the original like tale. You know, kind of works more into giving like God, and there's just so much nice bits like, oh man, like Wendy smacking, like just slapping Peter after all the harm he put them through. I love that. Like all the dimension and stuff they give. Like that, and that's the thing I love is that Jude Law is the most sympathetic Captain Hook, but he's still intimidating. Like he still feels like Captain Hook. Oh my God. Like I still I knew the movie was in good hands when the first clip pop up of just like, you know, him just what was it, blasting one of the pirates through the door and just never say his name. And them even doing like the no splash thing from the original to some extent was really good. I love that. Oh my God, and Jim Gaffigan as Smee. I love that version. All right. Yeah, this level's the worst. I forgot about it. You have to basically outrun these mosquitoes. There's also secrets around here, but I don't remember where. Oop, I'm gonna get my first death of the game. That's great. And like I love that stuff. Really? I'm too distracted to remember the name of that little pirate. And there we go. I'm gonna go check the shop before I do that again. Man. Normally, I would probably just jump cut straight to that, but yeah, I have a thought getting out. And yeah, and it especially works as like a whole thing tying into the original Disney film. Going back to the original Disney film, because of, you know, how much of a jerk Peter was in that one. And so having this version where like part of the reason why Hook even hates Peter to some extent is because of like what Peter did to him. Like oh my god, that scene where Hook essentially like tells Wendy like his side of the story, that messed me up. Oh man, and Peter actually apologizing to Hook for being a bad friend, apologizing to James for everything, was such a nice bit. And like I've not cried for, like, this is gonna sound kind of ridiculous, but I've not cried for a Captain Hook since Jason Isaacs from the 2003 film. Like, true story. Because, again, I mentioned before about how I went to go see the film in theaters as a kid. And I loved his version of Captain Hook so much. This is true. I was in the back. Me, my brother, my father and my sister were like in the way back in the theater. And when it got to the end of the film, when, you know, he gets eaten by the crocodile, I kid you not, I literally stood up out of my chair with tears drenching down my face, and just put my hand over my chest and gave a salute.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, fellas. Have you seen any pieces of the map?
Pieces of the map? Yes, around our favorite fishing spot on the beach in Pirates Cove.
Thanks. I'm gonna fly there.
Like, yeah, I loved his Captain Hook so much, I literally was crying as I saluted him. And it's also why I'm really glad they didn't kill off. They didn't kill off Hook at the end of Peter Pan and Wendy. That would have been messed up. That movie is so good. I really wish I got more recognition. I also wish people didn't bully me on Twitter for saying I like the film, but that's a different story. Man. And again, that's the thing. I've watched a lot of versions of Peter Pan. I've watched a lot. Like, oh my god. Oh man. Like the amount of times I've seen like Peter Pan and the Pirates. I need an HD version of that. Like, seriously, I don't know. Like Disney, someone who... Like, someone needs to get off their butt and give... And, like, put out, like... Like, put out a DVD, at the very least. Put it out on, like, a streaming service. I'm tired of the fact that, like, there's only, like, a couple of episodes known to exist in good quality, and they're not really even in, like, some of the better episodes, in my opinion. And all the other episodes are just... And... Just have, like... Just, like, really horrible VHS quality audio. Thankfully there was that group that... Someone or some group did, like, sync the muffled English audio to, like, a more... a more... like a better looking... foreign copy? I forget where the copy comes from. Might have been France? I would have to look. Oh, I wasted my time. Okay, good. Cool. Cool. But even that's not perfect because in those... Because in some of those versions, like... the overseas airings cut out a few bits that had to be... respliced in.
Peter! Something horrible has happened. The pirates have kidnapped the lost boys.
The pirates? But where have they taken them?
All we know is that they've hidden them in secret spots all over the island, just to trick you.
Hook, this has gone too far.
We saw them going towards Skull Rock. Hope that helps.
Hey, Tink, let's go and see what they're up to.
But yeah, like, I mean... I think, like, anything's possible. Like... I mean, think about it, like, 10 years ago, around 10 years ago, what was it, like, The Legend of Calamity Jane was, like, mostly lost media, like, there was a couple of VHS recordings of old episodes floating around, and it wasn't until, like, several years later that all the episodes were found, and then a terrible, terrible, terrible DVD got released. And then Discotech put out like a complete Blu-ray set that looks beautiful. Like I watched some. I own the Blu-ray. I watched some of it. It's amazing. Now it's on Tubi, so anything's possible. Anywho, this has been fun. See you next time, where I will be venturing into the terror that is Skull Rock. Ooh. Yeah, so remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you so wish to. See you next time. Take care.